It's a $300 million movie that Ridley Scott called me up and said, you want to be a part of it?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be great. And I read it and I went, yeah, I want to be a part of it.
Rome has taken everything from me, but I will have my vengeance.
This is your first time working with Ridley. I know you're a huge fan.
Yeah.
Does he ever tell when he loves a shot or when he's unsatisfied with something and you have to do it again?
He's totally transparent. What you see with Ridley, that is what you get. Or like if you ask him, can you go for another take or something, and he's happy with it, he'll be like, are you kidding me? So like, it's all, there's no kind of, there's no games with Ridley, which is one of the reasons that I just love working with him. You know exactly where you sit from minute to minute, moment to moment, yeah.
He had 12, anywhere between 9 and 15 cameras all over the place, and I wasn't concerned with his satisfaction. I'm busy with Macronus, you know, so I wasn't really watching him, to be honest with you. I've said this before, the time to worry about flying is when you're on the ground. If you don't trust a pilot, don't go. He's a pilot I trust, absolutely. I'll go anywhere he wants me to go.
If he's really into something, he'll be like, cut, that's cinema. But he uses that pretty sparingly. And then, what else did he say?
Works like gangbusters.
You two are like gangbusters. You get that sometimes. That's when you're kind of, you know, that you've done something.
You want to go again? And if you say yes again, why the would you? It's perfect.
Yeah, at the end of our first day, he's got 8 cameras working at the same time, and we had a couple of takes on this like one kind of scene in the royal box. And I asked to talk to Ridley on the on his God mic, like through the radio, and I was like, well, why don't you leave one camera on us, and you can move the other 6, and you can get what you want there, and then we can give you another another take. And he went,
Are you serious?
so it was clear from the off that he was driving the ship, and we just had to trust him.
I love that you got to chat with him on the God mic and he's like, no, we're ready, we're ready.
He's watching all of the shots at the same time.
If he's got it, you know. And I think, you know, we'll never be satisfied, so we'll always fight for another take, but sometimes it's like, it doesn't help.
Knowing that's a part of the process, it makes it a thing where you prepare in the same way that you do in life, which is you do not have multiple shots at things, you know? You really know that there's a kind of urgency to who you are and to that moment. And it felt like every day was an event. And if you want to be seen and you want to be heard, you got to reckon with what's around you. So I think there's an urgency in that way of working that definitely became a part of the characters, and I also think it's a part of the story in the film.
It lines everything with this sense of risk and this sense of, urgency in the fact that you get this once, maybe twice, and then it's done. So what are you going to bring to it? Which is a thrilling way to work.
Yeah.
This is war! Real war!
Ridley had originally said that he cast you from Normal People. Did he mention a scene that he loved? Or?
I just still revel in the fact that, like, Ridley in bed watching Normal People is hilarious to me. But no, he kind of said, like, it's, I think the best audition an actor can do, especially if they have developed a body of work, big or small, that like your best audition is in the work that has preceded you. And that's why I think it's so important for young actors, where possible, to be careful with the roles that they choose, because ultimately that's what directors are watching, you know.
Yeah, and look on IMDb for that too.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like I could have told you that myself.
And you mentioned previously that Ridley came up to you before filming, slapped you on the back and said, your nerves are no good to me.
Yeah.
That was fantastic. Can you just bring me back to that moment and like how it informed your approach to the character moving forward?
It was the most generous piece of advice, because what it actually meant was that it's totally to do with, because nerves are useful, but they're also self-related. It's your own, whatever, narcissism or like personal fears. And what he's saying is like, this is so much bigger than your own anxiety, and we're going to be making this together, so like, let's just tear into it.
Was there a day on set where you like looked around and were like really overwhelmed?
First day. The first day. You walk in, cameras are already turning over. Ridley has just slapped you on the back and told you that your nerves are no good to him. There's camels, there's fire, there's 600, 700 extras, and it's go. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, yeah.
Is there anything that you say to yourself to like zone in that moment?
My nerves are no good to anybody. No, you just kind of, at that point, there's some sort of calm that I have found over time now with the camera turning over. Because the rest of your life kind of goes quiet, I think.
You have something in you. I knew it from the start.
Did you now?
You talked about getting your ass kicked in one of the featurettes.
I got my ass kicked.
Which I thought was hilarious while you were shooting this
I really
film.
did, and you were
really
witness
did.
to
No,
it.
I was.
I mean, I really got my ass kicked.
Yes.
I get a lot of whips in there, but boy, oh boy.
You're being hamstrung by
Yeah.
your love for me.
Yes, exactly, exactly. All for you. Love hurts.
That does hurt.
Was there a particular day where you're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do this anymore?
Well, yeah.
Which one?
That day was pretty hard.
That day.
That day was pretty hard.
Basically the last day of fighting for me. I was fighting Paul, and I was saying earlier that Ridley will shoot
The whole sequence.
the whole sequence from start to finish, which is incredibly thrilling, but can feel relentless. I guess there's a sequence where I fight a few men, and then I get to Paul, or Paul comes for me. Paul gets to me, and we did it start to finish, and I was just destroyed by
It was
the end
also
of it.
so hot at
Yeah.
that time. It was like crazy
Yeah.
warm, and
But I was like howlingly done,
yeah.
quite literally. I was
And-
like, ah!
And Paul had some rage that he had to play out.
Working it out on me.
Absolutely.
I love that so much. There's a behind the scenes video too of you saying, I hate you. I love
Put that on there?
They did. Yeah, they have theirs. It's there. It's in the behind the scenes.
I hate all of you. If I never speak to you again, how dare you? That move in there is perfect.
No, I got beat up by Paul Mescal.
So good.
Real life drama.
I love it so much.
There are victories yet still to come.
Rome has so many subjects. She must feed them.
They can eat war.
Your characters, they're a bit odd, they're a bit eccentric. How much of that is written in the script, and how much of those like character oddities and habits do you bring to them?
I think Ridley kind of trusts his actors when he casts them in the roles that he's imagined. He kind of expects you to take it and run with it. And I think that a lot of the words were there originally, that we had a few ideas that we would try and kind of, pepper in there. And but I think then our job is to kind of find the moments between the lines that kind of bring characters to life. And, you know, that's what we were trying to do with this one, certainly.
Fred, you had mentioned that you guys were like an old vaudevillian couple when you were preparing with one another. I'd love to get your reaction to that, and I would love to hear more about the process of how you guys solidified that bond.
It's so rare that you get to build a dynamic beforehand, that becomes a very integral part of understanding who these people are. And it's even rarer that you get to deal with such an amazing person and actor as this fella here. And so I did feel an immediate camaraderie when we met, and I feel like we just got so much time to be able to get close and really feel them. I think you have your ideas, but you continue to learn who they are through the other one, especially because their dynamic is so insular, and so there's a lot of surveillance of one to the other. They're kind of constantly measuring up themselves, one against the other. It's like a forever mirror.
It seemed to be like the more we lent in to the madness of it and the opera of it that could hold those kind of deranged kind of choices that in something kind of more stripped back would make you look like a lunatic. Not to say that we didn't in this, but it was a treat to kind of tread down that kind of seemingly dangerous path at times with Fred. Yeah.
Of course, you were in the first film. Like, how has Ridley's filmmaking style changed in the past 2 decades?
You know, In the first one, we had a lot of time where we actors could hold him hostage to all of our discussions about all of the things that we definitely needed to bring into the scene. And he had to so patiently, humor us all because they took all that time for the cameras to get changed and the lights to be set up. Now there is no time because literally the reset is so quick and so speedy, and he has incredible technology and a machine that he's built that is crazy through the roof, unlike any other thing I've ever worked on. And I've worked on big movies. This is the biggest ever, and even bigger than the first one. And all of this technology has made it so that, I line up in the morning in front of Ridley's trailer so he cannot get away from me.
It's true.
And then I wait there, and then I go Ridley, okay, so these are my ideas because I know that is my time. Yeah. After that, you're off to the races and you're working the whole day, and you are like scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, and you've got 2, maybe 3 takes if there's an animal in the take.
Yeah, right.
The animal gets the take.
So then you're behind her in line, and then the animals.
Yes.
I didn't have to stand in line because I did all my bidding through Connie.